The energy around Hallis Hall this week has been nothing short of electric, and the reason is clear. Rookie quarterback Caleb Williams has claimed one of the NFL's most prestigious weekly honors. Named NFC Offensive Player of the Week, Williams isn't just putting up numbers, he's rewriting history for the Chicago Bears. For a franchise that has struggled to find stability at quarterback for decades, this moment represents more than just individual success. It's a sign of real progress. Williams' award marks the first time since 2013 that a Bears quarterback has received this recognition. That year, journeyman Josh McCown earned the honor, but in Williams' case, the context is different. This isn't a veteran catching lightning in a bottle. This is a young star already shaping the direction of the team's future. His performance against his former coach, Matt Eberflus, was the perfect showcase of why the Bears believe they've finally found their franchise quarterback. Against Dallas, Williams went 19 of 28 for nearly 300 passing yards, threw 4 touchdowns, and didn't commit a single turnover. His passer rating of 142.6 was one of the best in the entire league that week. Beyond the numbers, though, was his poise, his ability to read the defense, make adjustments at the line, and connect with multiple receivers. 4 different Bears found the end zone through the air, a sign that Williams is distributing the ball with confidence and vision. This type of efficiency and leadership is something Chicago fans haven't seen since the days of Sid Luckman back in the 1940s. In fact, Williams briefly led the league in touchdown passes, an achievement no Bears quarterback had touched since Luckman himself. To add another layer, he has reached milestones faster than any quarterback in team history, including surpassing 700 passing yards in record time. For a fanbase long starved for quarterback excellence, this is more than exciting. It's transformative. Williams isn't just the face of the offense, he's beginning to redefine the Bears' identity. The offense overall has benefited from his growth. Chicago ranks top 10 in both points per game and yards per game, something that hasn't happened in over a decade. With 25.3 points per contest and nearly 350 yards of total offense, the Bears are finally keeping pace with the modern NFL. Of course, skeptics remain. Some still question if Williams can sustain this pace over a long season. But numbers don't lie. 7 touchdowns to just 1 interception, consistent week-to-week improvement, and an undeniable connection with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson all suggest that Williams is just scratching the surface. And perhaps the most telling sign of his maturity came in his own words. When asked how he felt about the award, Williams simply replied, "Cool. Moved on to the next question." That laser-focused mentality says everything about his approach. For him, it's not about weekly accolades, it's about building something lasting in Chicago. While Williams' award has grabbed headlines, the broader story of the Bears' offense deserves just as much attention. Under Ben Johnson's leadership, the unit has evolved each week, adding layers of complexity and balance. It's not just about one player, it's about a system that is starting to click. In Week 1, Chicago leaned heavily on Williams' mobility, using his legs to extend plays and survive early challenges. By Week 2, the game plan expanded. Rookie wideout Rome Odunze began to emerge as a serious threat, while veteran DJ Moore got more involved in the passing attack. Week 3 saw another step forward. Tight ends and role players began contributing, culminating in an offensive performance where 4 different receivers caught touchdowns. This progression highlights a crucial point. Johnson isn't forcing the offense to run through one superstar. Instead, he's creating diversity, ensuring defenses can't simply key in on one weapon. That type of adaptability is what separates average teams from playoff-caliber squads. Williams' chemistry with his teammates is undeniable. You can see it in how receivers run their routes with confidence, how the offensive line responds to his leadership, and how the entire unit seems energized by his presence. And Johnson himself has praised Williams as a quick study, emphasizing how his comfort level grows with each passing week. Chicago's offense may not yet be perfect. They still rank in the middle of the league in rushing yards per game, but the foundation is solid. And against a vulnerable Raiders defense, there's a prime opportunity for another breakout performance. If you're enjoying keeping up with the Bears' rise this season, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We break down every game, every highlight, and every injury update so you never miss a beat. Plus, joining the community means you can share your own takes with thousands of other Bears fans. So hit that subscribe button and stay locked in, because this season is just getting started. Beyond the offense, the Bears' overall confidence is building. Winning against the Raiders would bring the team back to .500, and that momentum could shift the entire tone of their season. Instead of being labeled a rebuilding squad, Chicago could suddenly look like a team to watch in the NFC. That's why Williams' leadership is so crucial. His calm, no-nonsense reaction to the award signals to his teammates that he's not interested in personal accolades, he's chasing wins. And in a locker room full of veterans and young players trying to blend together, that attitude sets the standard. The Bears, for the first time in years, look like they have a quarterback who can both inspire belief and deliver results. As promising as things feel, no NFL story is complete without the reality check of injuries. And for the Bears, the midweek injury report offered some concerns that fans will want to watch closely leading up to the Raiders game. Linebacker T.J. Edwards, a key piece of the defense, has been dealing with an issue that kept him out of practice. While there's still optimism he could return, many believe the Bears would be wise to let him rest, especially against a struggling Raiders team. Preserving him for bigger matchups down the road makes strategic sense. Cornerback Kyler Gordon, battling a hamstring injury, also remains sidelined. With Jaylon Johnson undergoing surgery for an abdominal injury, the secondary suddenly feels thin. Getting one of those two back would provide a huge boost, but at this stage, it's uncertain. Tight end depth is another storyline. Rookie Colston Loveland has been limited by a hip issue, while veteran Cole Kmet is managing a groin injury. If both are unavailable, Chicago may have to lean on practice squad call-ups, never an ideal situation in the middle of the season. On the offensive line, Darnell Wright appeared on the report with an elbow problem. He briefly left last week's game, raising the possibility that backups like Inez Cooper or Theo Benedict could see action at right tackle. Protecting Williams is priority number one, and any instability up front could become a factor. Meanwhile, running back DeAndre Swift is nursing a quad and hip issue. The Bears could look to rotate more carries to Kyle Monangai, a younger back who may see this as an opportunity to prove himself. The good news is that not all updates are negative. Defensive back Jaylon Jones returned in limited fashion after his own hamstring injury, which bolsters depth in a strained secondary. And defensive lineman Grady Jarrett, while still resting a knee, has shown he can play through pain when necessary. Injuries are an inevitable part of every NFL season. The key for Chicago will be managing workloads smartly, prioritizing long-term health over short-term risk. With a winnable matchup against the Raiders, this is a chance to rest some veterans while still aiming for victory. Final thoughts: the storylines out of Halas Hall this week paint a picture of a franchise in transition. On one hand, Caleb Williams' historic award and rapid development give fans a reason to believe that the Bears' long quarterback drought may finally be ending. On the other, the injury list reminds us how fragile momentum can be in the NFL. What stands out most is the attitude of this team. Williams' laser focus, Ben Johnson's steady leadership, and the way the offense is evolving all point toward a brighter future. Yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, there will be criticism. But for the first time in a long time, the Bears are not just competing, they're progressing. If Chicago can manage its health and continue building on this offensive rhythm, the season could take a very different turn than many predicted. And whether you're a lifelong fan or just now tuning in, one thing is clear: the Bears are finally worth watching again. Bear down.